No NFL game was played Thursday, but the league declared a win. According to figures released by the NFL, the number of concussions sustained in practices and games dropped by 23.8% this season. "We are pleased with the progress," said Jeff Miller, the NFL's executive vice president for health and safety initiatives, on a conference call. "It was obviously an advance for the health and safety of our players to see fewer concussions. But it's simply one step in our longer effort to continue to drive down concussion rates. With one game, the Super Bowl, left to play, the NFL has recorded 214 concussions this season. Last year, there were 281 across preseason, regular season and postseason practices and games. It marked a 16.4% increase from 2016, and it was the highest number of concussions since the league implemented its current injury tracking system in 2012. The 214 reported concussions marked the lowest figure since 2014, 212. In 2018, Miller said the spike in concussions in the 2017 season was a call to action. In response, the NFL introduced several safety-related rule changes. Those included a rule that prohibits a player from lowering his head to initiate contact, and modifications were made to kickoffs, a play the league has said is 5 times more likely than other plays to result in concussions. File this deck. 16, 2018, file photo shows Green Bay Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb, 18, running after making a catch against the Chicago Bears during the first half of an NFL football game in Chicago. Cleared from the concussion protocol, Cobb expects to play in the Green Bay Packers season finale, which could also be his final game with the team. "I'm human, so I can't say that it hasn't crossed my mind," Cobb said on Thursday. Deck. 27, 2018. AP photo, David Banks. File, let's file this deck. 16, 2018, file photo shows Green Bay Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb, 18, running after making a catch against the Chicago Bears during the first half of an NFL football game in Chicago. More photo, David Banks. Associated Press photo, David Banks. Associated Press. File this deck. 16, 2018, file photo shows Green Bay Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb, 18, running after making a catch against the Chicago Bears during the first half of an NFL football game in Chicago. Cleared from the concussion protocol, Cobb expects to play in the Green Bay Packers season finale, which could also be his final game with the team. "I'm human, so I can't say that it hasn't crossed my mind," Cobb said on Thursday. Deck. 27, 2018. AP photo, David Banks. File, let's file this deck. 16, 2018, file photo shows Green Bay Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb, 18, running after making a catch against the Chicago Bears during the first half of an NFL football game in Chicago. More photo, David Banks. Associated Press. NFL says concussions down by 23.8% this season. In the 2018 preseason, 71 helmet-lowering penalties were called in 65 games, and it appeared the new rule change would be significant. In the regular season, however, there were only 19 such penalties assessed in 256 games as the league dialed back enforcement. The NFL says an analysis has begun to see if the rule encouraged players to use a safer head-up tackling technique. Meanwhile, the NFL banned the use of 10 helmets this season that tested poorly for safety. In 2017, 41% of players wore one of the 17 top-performing helmets. In 2018, that figure rose to 74%. "We are excited and grateful for the changes that we've seen," said Dr. Ellen Sills, the NFL's chief medical officer. "And we feel like this decrease is not a random variance, but a reflection that the data-driven approach has made an impact." However, there are those who believe that data the NFL presents regarding concussions is seriously flawed. For example, it doesn't account for subconcussive hits, smaller but more frequent impacts, often absorbed by linemen, that have been linked to head trauma. Former 49ers linebacker Chris Borland has been among those who believe there are a high number of unreported concussions among players. Borland, who retired in 2015 after his rookie season because of head trauma concerns, has said his only 2 diagnosed concussions were sustained in high school. However, he said he had 13 suspected concussions he didn't report throughout his football career. Any specific number with concussions presented as data is, at best, horribly inaccurate, Borland said to the Chronicle in October. It's an ill-defined injury, it's hard to articulate, and players are incentivized to withhold sharing that information. Eric Branch is a San Francisco Chronicle staff writer. Email, ebranch@sfchronicle.com. Twitter, @EricBranch.